Buriya, come here. You know how some stories my grandfather told me? The tiger, the mountain. This one isn't his. This one is my grandmother's. And she only told it deep in winter, late, when she thought I was already asleep.
Okay, that's Papa. That's the setup to a scary one. You only whisper the scary ones. I can hear you doing the whisper.
A painter went up a mountain to paint a temple. The best painter in 3 provinces. In all his years, he had never once been afraid. He never crossed the bridge.
He never. What bridge? Papa, why do you always end the first part on the bad part?
Because of who was standing on it. Open the pouch, little one. This one really happened in the village our ancestors came from. Long ago, back in Joseon.
Wait first. The painter, is he a cat? I need to know if he's a cat before I commit.
Not a cat. He was a hwaseung, a monk who paints the Buddha, the great pictures inside the temple, the colors on every beam. And the old people believed a man who paints Buddha's face all his life carries something, wonryeok, a kind of light around him. They said the dark things keep their distance from a man like that.
Oh, I like him. A paint man the ghosts are scared of. Okay, good. Finally a guy who's safe. We love the safe paint man.
Remember that, Buriya, because in this whole story, he is the only one nothing could touch. Everyone else, the mountain had its way with.
You gave me the safe guy for 4 seconds. I felt that.
Now, most temples in Joseon start with a great gate across the path, the Iljumun, and it's built strange on purpose, little one. 2 pillars standing on a single straight line, so when you step to the side, they line up into one. 1 pillar holding a whole tiled roof painted top to bottom in 단청, those deep temple reds and blues and greens blazing against the mountain.
Ooh, a magic trick gate. 2 pillars that turn into one. Okay, that's actually kind of beautiful.
1 line, 1 path, 1 heart, Ilshim. You set down all the noise of the world at that gate and you step through with a single mind. And the moment you pass under it, the old people said, you've left our world. You've crossed into Bulgukto, the land of the Buddha.
So, it's a door between worlds. Papa, your stories have so many doors, and there's always something on the wrong side.
This little temple was too poor for Iljumun. So instead, a stream ran across the mouth of the path, and over it, an old stone bridge, curved up like a rainbow, a 무지개다리. And for that temple, the bridge was the gate. Cross it and you've crossed into holy ground. That's the one thing to hold on to, Buriya. The bridge was a threshold, and some things can't cross a threshold.
I'm holding it. I hate it, but I'm holding it.
The painter came up at first light, mist still in the valley, and at the foot of the bridge he saw a woman. Plain village clothes, her back to him, facing the temple across the water. A devotee, come early to pray, he thought nothing of it. He nodded and stepped past her onto the bridge.
Good, normal, praying lady. People pray. Moving on, nothing to see.
But he saw one thing as he passed. She lifted a foot, set it down on the first stone of the bridge, and then she slid backward, both feet, off the bridge, back onto the path, like the ground had tilted and pulled her back.
She slipped. Wet stone, there's mist, that's a slip, that happens.
And behind him, as he climbed to the hall, he heard it again. The scrape of a straw shoe on stone. He glanced back. Lift. Set it down. Slide back. Lift. Set. Slide back.
Papa.
He went in and ground his colors and tried to work. But every time he rinsed his brush, he could see down the path, and she was still there. The mist burned off. Two monks crossed the yard, slowed to look at her, and walked on faster. And still lift set, slide back. An hour, two.
How is she not tired? Papa, how is anybody not tired after 2 hours of that?
Near midday, he set down his brush and went out. And now she was weeping. Her whole face wet, gasping, both arms reaching across the bridge toward the temple, like a child reaching for its mother just out of arm's length. Reaching, stepping, dragged back. And standing there, he finally let himself see the thing he'd refused to see all morning. She wasn't slipping. She wasn't failing to cross. Something was pulling her back. Something behind her, at her shoulders. Every time her foot touched the holy stone of that bridge, it hauled her back, off the threshold, away from the temple. And it had been doing it since before the sun came up.
It's the threshold. She's standing right at the line, and it won't let her over the line.
You see it faster than he did. Little one. So the painter ran for the old monk, the no-seunim, and grandmother said this told everyone what kind of monk he was. He didn't gasp. He didn't ask one question. He just reached for one thing off the wall.
A sword, please. A big monk sword.
A jukbi Bburi야. A press stick of split bamboo. The thing a monk taps a drowsing student with to wake him up. That's all it is. He took it in one hand and ran for the bridge faster than the young painter could follow.
Go, 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 go.
And he didn't strike the woman. He struck the air. The empty space at her back, her shoulders, her spine, crack, crack, crack. Bamboo on nothing, bamboo on something, beating hard and fast, and a thing no one could see, in a place where no one stood, again and again.
Is it working? Tell me it's working.
And all at once the woman threw back her head. I go one long cry, and folded straight down onto the stones, like a rope slipping off a hook. Silent, still, and whatever had been holding her let go.
Is she?
The old monk bent and gathered her up in his own two arms, and carried her up over the cover of the mujigedari, across the water onto the far side, onto holy ground. The first time she'd crossed all day, after a whole night of reaching for it. And she crossed it asleep and carried. She never took the step herself. Someone had to carry her over.
She couldn't do it alone. Somebody had to carry her across the line. That's scary and sad, Papa. It's doing both in my chest at the same time.
Months later, the painter came back to finish his work, and over tea he finally asked, "What was that?" The old monk drank his tea, and then he told him. That woman had done a thing she shouldn't have. Grandmother never said what, and a bad spirit had fixed onto her, a yonga. That morning, far down in the valley, she'd woken with one thought she couldn't shake. I have to reach the temple now. She didn't know why. She just had to go.
The thing behind her, it was already on her, before she even got there.
From the moment she decided to come, it fought her the whole way up the mountain, dragging at her legs, turning her on the path. She fought it for hours, step by step, because some clean part of her knew the temple was the one place she'd be safe. And then she reached the mujigedari. And here's the thing, Bburi야. The thing grandmother would drop her voice to tell. The spirit couldn't follow her across. A younga like that can't set foot on holy ground. The far side of the bridge was a door it could not walk through.
It hit the line, and it couldn't cross.
It couldn't cross. So it did the only thing it could. It stood at the threshold, and it held her there with it. If it couldn't go in, then she wouldn't go in. It would rather keep her weeping on a bridge till she dropped, than lose her to the other side.
It couldn't have it, so it wouldn't let her have it either. That's the meanest thing I ever heard, Papa. It didn't even want anything. It just didn't want her to be saved.
That's the whole black heart of it, little one. That's what grandmother wanted me to understand. She didn't tell me that one to scare me, though it did, every time. She told it to teach me. She'd put her hand on my head, like mine is on yours now, and she'd say, there are lines in this world the dark can't cross, a threshold, a Iljumun. And on the night something's dragging at your back and won't let you go forward. You don't have to win, little one. You only have to reach the line. And if you can't make the last step alone, you call out and you let someone carry you over it.
The bridge let her go. The thing couldn't cross the bridge.
It couldn't cross. Iljumun, Bburi. One gate, one path, one heart. The dark can hold you right up to the threshold, but it cannot follow you through the gate.
Iljumun. The gate. Papa, was grandmother ever on the wrong side of it?
She never said, little one. She'd just smile and tell me to sleep. But she did tell me one more from that same village, about a guest who came one autumn. A guest with no arms.
No. No, Papa, you can't say a guest with no arms and then do the sleep voice. Papa, you did the exact thing again. Papa, come back. What do you mean, no arms?
Another night, Bburi. Another night, go to sleep.